So today, lads, we got to talk about something, and I heard it in a video, and a lot of people were telling me as well in my live stream, and I saw Robin Lundberg bring it up as well. So Robin Lundberg brought up this point, in his video, and people just kept in my live stream, even before his video, were just saying Stephanie White doesn't like Caitlin Clark the way she plays. Listen to what she said about Luca. Look what she said about Luca. And I just didn't really see anything. And I'm like, I watched Robin's video and he read it out. And I'm like, or not read it out, like brought it up. And I'm like, it's bad. It's real bad. So, this is what she said. This is what she said. You see the Mavs just play differently without Luca on the floor. When he's not on the floor, that ball is moving, it's popping, multiple players getting involved in the action, blah, blah, blah. The post also includes a quote from Mavs radio announcer, lower usage rate from this year. White further commented that Doncic is a player with a high usage rate, keeping the ball in his hands, and that when he's not playing, the ball movement increases with more players participating and stepping up. I mean, that was just objectively false. Was just objectively false. Like, we saw what happened. We've seen what happens when Luka doesn't play for the Dallas Wings. Or Dallas Mavericks. You've seen what happens. Just like, this is like, oh, the Grizzlies are better with Ja, or the Wizards are better without Wall, or all these things. Yeah, you can have a game where the other team doesn't know how to game plan for you, and you're moving the ball, and teams don't know what to expect, and all this stuff. But, like, that's all it is. That's all it is. Like, it is you can sucker punch a team once off. That's all you're going to get, though, is one off. Like, and clearly her philosophy on basketball has not changed. Clearly, her philosophy on basketball has not changed. And I just realized I got sent this comment here about Stephanie White. So I might have made another video on this back then. I just saw this here and I bookmarked it back in the day. So I definitely could have. Made a video on this already. Bro, I hate her so much. Nip that in the bud quick. Let's... Like, yeah, they're complaining about it. Mavs fans are annoyed at this.
Sprain in that game and has been out since. And that puts a lot on the plate of players like Spencer Dinwiddie, who just came in, who finds Marshall for the corner three.
Well, you see the Mavs just play differently without Luka on the floor. He's a guy who's high usage rate, the ball's in his hands. When he's not on the floor, that ball is moving, it's popping. Multiple players getting involved in action, and everyone's stepping up.
Lower usage rate for him this year. A wrist sprain.
Yeah, making sure to be like, you know what? He's a lower use rate this year. Like, got her right back with that fact. Our main problem right now is not flowing on offense enough. She forgot she was working with someone who watches every single literal minute of Mavs basketball. There's a Dorsberg 2.0. Like, the Dallas Mavericks are not better without Luka Doncic. They're not better without Luka Doncic. We can be honest. They're not better without Luka. The ball moving point was brought up by Carolyn Peck after the Cup win again. Man, they barely scored the ball in the Cup win. They literally... What are people talking about ball movement? They won because Natasha Howard hit circus shots. What are we talking about? Natasha Howard hit circuit shots and the Lynx couldn't hit a shot. And then their defense imploded because they couldn't hit a shot late in the game. The Lynx shit the bed and Natasha Howard hit circus shots. Like, that's nothing to do with ball movement. Their ball move wasn't good in the Commissioner's Cup final. They were terrible offensively. It's just Natasha Howard hit circus shots and in her defense played great defense on Fee Collier. That is how they won that. Yeah, like, it's very, very clear that Stephanie White, her philosophy on basketball does not suit Caitlin Clark. For them to work, one of them has to change. If not, one of them has to go. And I mean this when I say this. For the good of the sport of basketball, it has to be Stephanie White. For the good of basketball, it has to be Stephanie White. For the good of basketball, it has to be her. Because let's be real, if Caitlin Clark changes, there's no scenario where Caitlin Clark changes to fit what Stephanie White does and she's an all WNBA player. There's not. There's not. I'm sorry. Caitlin Clark is not a good enough catch and shoot 3-point shooter. She's not good enough going right. The reason is because she fires the ball from here. Like for Caitlin Clark to play the way Stephanie White would have to do, she would need multiple summers realigning her shot. Multiple summers. She would need to be a much faster laterally, which I think is just natural. She needs to be a much faster laterally. She needs to completely change her philosophy of basketball. Like, it's a 5-year job to mold Caitlin Clark into what Stephanie White wants her to be. It'll take about 5 off seasons. It'll take about 4 to 5 off seasons minimum to mold Caitlin Clark into that. And by the way, that's just molding her into Paige Bueckers. That's just molding her into Paige Bueckers. You're going to have to stop those long-range 3 balls. Based on her philosophy, you don't want that. No high usage rate. None of that. Like, based on her philosophy, you are hoping and praying that a 28-year-old Caitlin Clark is current-day Paige Bueckers. And that is the best-case scenario. But the moment that I realized we're in hell, it's pretty simple. This is how Steph feels and cannot be convinced otherwise. She's fired. Simple as that. She clearly can't be convinced otherwise. Have you not been watching the Indiana Fever? Have you not been watching the Fever? She's going to destroy Caitlin Clark and doom the Fever. I don't know if she's going to doom the Fever. I think she's going to I don't know if she's even going to destroy Caitlin Clark long term. She's going to destroy Caitlin Clark short term. Like, long term and short term things are completely different. They are completely different. Like, long term, Caitlin Clark's going to play 10 years in the WNBA. She's going to play 10 years. And realistically, in those 10 years, she's going to have some real good years and she's going to have some bad years. But, like, in this current system, she's not going to be good for the rest of this year. And by good, I mean as good as we know Caitlin can be. Like, look, she's already, just based on health, essentially taken herself out of all WNBA conversations. But realistically, based on her play, she's scraping an all WN. Like, she's not all W second team. She's not. Purely based on play, she's been between 15 and 12 and 11 this season. Like, if we're being honest, based on this entire season, and I understand injury has to be, and injury is taken into account because it happened. When she's been on the floor, has she been better than Paige? Slightly. Has she been better than Angel on the floor this year? Slightly. And, like, I don't think either of them are all W players either. Are going to be all W team, or are going to be all WNBA this year either. So, look, it is a situation where you've got a coach and a player who just philosophically don't see the game of basketball the same way, and it is always an issue. Like, this is going to be an issue. And I understand that, like, some people try to say that it's not and they respect each other. Like, they clearly do respect each other. And I'm going to talk more in the video tomorrow about Caitlin Clark, the interview she did yesterday where she's, like, no eye contact, like, really pissed off, it seems, about playing with Ari McDonald and being told she's playing off the ball. Like, she seemed really pissed off at something. So I'm going to talk about that more tomorrow, which is 4 a.m. and I want to go to sleep. But, yeah, if you guys agree with this as well, subscribe. We are so close to 53K. But anyway, yeah, that is the video. That is a video. Like, I understand, obviously, this is one of those things where, look, there's no right or wrong answer to this. There's no right or wrong answer in terms of if we're making basketball decisions. Like, a lot of the times, if the coach is bigger than, like, a lot of teams will side with their coach over a player. And that's fine. But, like, I don't understand why we got rid of Christy Sides. A lot of that because of, we all didn't want Christy Sides because of philosophy more than anything. She was a bad coach and she had philosophy, but we hired a more extreme Christy Sides in her philosophy. And I think Stephanie White can coach the game of basketball. I think she can coach the sport of basketball. But there are legitimate like philosophical differences. But yeah, that's kind of where the issue is. But anyway, I'll see you guys.